Just make sure. Okay, we are now live. Okay, guys, let me introduce my special guest today. I'm so honored to have her taking time out of her busy schedule. This is the beautiful Dianne Solano, and she is an amazing mom. She's an even better mentor. I'm so honored to have her in my life, and I'm so thankful that you guys get to tune in and listen to Dianne's wonderful, inspiring words. So thank you, Dianne, for joining us today. I'm so excited that you're here.
Likewise, Tiffany, and thank you for having me on this Facebook Live. And I'm very happy you're controlling the technology back there, because technology is definitely still something new for me and something that I'm fumbling with. But nonetheless, we are live. Hopefully, we're going to make this a really powerful conversation piece for anybody that feels inclined to just move on to what's bigger and greater for their life, what they want to achieve, and basically what they want to create for themselves in this lifetime.
Yeah, that's perfect. So can you tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Absolutely.
For those that don't know.
Well, I'll give everyone on the call or on the live today a little bit about my background. So I am a Canadian. We're live from Toronto, Canada. It's actually snowing right now. And I originally started off my career in functional medicine, orthomolecular nutrition. I just found that at a very early age in life, at around the age of 16, I really felt like I needed to have purpose. Sometimes we're born in this life knowing what we want to do, and sometimes we don't. And I realized that helping people always made me happy. And I just love seeing everyone having breakthroughs. And I think as a community, we break through, we have aha moments all through life. And nutrition and natural medicine was a wonderful vehicle to help people empower themselves through nutrition, through lifestyle, through making choices, taking their health into their own hands. I got kind of fed up with the medical model, the conventional medical model. I mean, it's important, very excellent for emergency situations, but bottom line was I just really needed something that was good for chronic care, for prevention. So that's what my path started off into. And then what happened over time was I just found that it was a beautiful career. It was limiting, though, from a financial standpoint. If I wasn't treating patients, I wasn't making an income. Doctors live patient to patient, people live paycheck to paycheck. And it really hit home for me when I became a single mom. So background in nutrition, fast forward life challenges, excellent career, but ultimately being a single parent was where I had a big wake up call. And, we did, talk about the title of today's chat is Finding Your Purpose. Do we really know what our purpose is? Some people walk into this world knowing that, and some people have not a clue. And I realized, at this point in my life, and I'm sure it's still unfolding, our purpose is always changing. We come across and meet new people. We come across and have new life experiences that creates awareness and creates questioning. And that's where we start to now have an experience that catapults us into the next aha moment of our lives. And for me, it was literally having a moment in my life going, single parent, what am I going to do? That's where you and I eventually connected, because I started to create an incredible business that allowed me to have time freedom and allowed me to still be on purpose and help people around the world. And honestly, it's been an absolute blessing. So that's a little bit about me in a nutshell. For those people that are watching that, never heard of this, Dianne and Tiffany combination, where did this friendship come from? It came from that. It came from empowering lives, wanting change and wanting results with no risk, and just really stepping out of your way, stepping out of your comfort zone.
Yeah. And that's another thing, stepping out of your comfort zone it's really hard at first. It's making that first step into something that you don't really know or understand. But I have to say that once you do that, once you know that you're supposed to go that route, it is phenomenal.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. They have that quote that says, there is no growth in comfort. Right. And it's true. It's the uncomfortable moments where you're going to have to face yourself saying, if I continue expecting a different result using the same action, definition of insanity, what do I have to do? Who do I have to become? What actions do I have to take that's going to start taking me in the direction of where I want to go? There is no right or wrong. It's what fills your soul, what makes you happy, what makes you sing, what gives you a sense of peace, what excites you. And what scares you means it's going to stretch you on some level.
Yep.
And it sounds like, Tiffany, you've gone through a couple of moments of those yourself, right?
Absolutely. Yes.
Myself included. And I hope everyone here on this call has gone through a moment in their life where they've had a breakthrough.
Yeah.
And that's where the growth really happens. You know, the moment is scary, but it's really perceived fear. I mean, ultimately, what's the worst case scenario? You're going to learn from it. You're going to learn and you're going to get wiser, and getting uncomfortable is part of the process of being in this world and handling what life throws your way. We just never know what it's going to be.
Yeah, absolutely. So what would you say helped give you a little bit more of that time freedom?
Okay, so going back to my story, you know, I was a great professional. I was a great practitioner. I was helping people. I loved that. I loved it so much that I wasn't even aware of my time. And they say time now is the new currency. You know, you can give somebody all the money in the world. If they don't have time, if they don't have inner peace, if they don't feel they're on purpose, it's not worth it. You know, and I went through that. At one point in my early 20s, I was a bartender. I used to serve, you know, people drinks during the weekend. It was great cash flow. And that was when I was in school doing my career. And I was burning the candle at both ends. I was exhausted coming home at 3 a.m. I remember just thinking, you know, I had all this tip money, like wads of cash in my drawer. And I remember looking at it, burnt out on a Monday. I could barely even find the energy to go out for a walk. And I remember being at a point where I would watch the same TV shows. I remember Oprah was one of my favorite shows back in those times when it was on air. And I remember Oprah being in the morning, Oprah being in the afternoon. And I'm like, there's a problem when you're seeing the same show twice in a day.
Right.
And having all this money and no life quality, no excitement, no energy, feeling exhausted was an aha moment where I said, you know what? I don't really care. Money means nothing. It has no value if you don't have quality and life purpose and peace and health. And that's when I knew that something needed to change. So, you know, that's what catapulted me into my career. It wasn't until I hit my 40s where I realized, okay, wait a minute. I turned 50 in 10 years. I have a little boy I got to take care of. There's no way from my original business of running a clinic, you know, wearing the multi-entrepreneurial hats, because when you run your small business, and maybe a lot of people on this call can relate, you're doing everything. You know, I had to wear the accountant hat. I had to wear the janitor hat. I had to wear the receptionist hat, and I was doing it all. And I realized, okay, 90% of small businesses never last past 10 years. Mine did. But it wasn't in a place that was going to give me financial freedom and peace from what I wanted for my life. My mentor in natural medicine actually introduced me to an incredible product. It was actually a healthy coffee that right now is just exploding around the world. It's in 30 countries. And he said, Dianne, you can be an excellent practitioner, but if you don't know how to leverage your time, if you don't know how to teach people to duplicate and share something that you're passionate about, it's irrelevant of the product. You got to love what you do. You got to feel good about what you do. And if you can do that, the world is your oyster. So I just listened to a person I highly admired. And that's another thing. You want to pick people and listen to people you're willing to trade places with. If someone's giving you advice, be it on relationship, be it in your career, I mean, if they don't have the result, if they don't have the experience, if they don't have what you would want to trade places with them for, then don't take advice from people you wouldn't trade places with. That's the bottom line. And he was someone I was willing to trade places with. And I said, wow, if you manage to get this far doing what you do, you know, if it took me 3 times the amount of time to do it, I'm in. So that's what happened. And that's where things just turned around for me. You know, for those people that are on today's call, there's many avenues for being able to be abundant in this life. And we are truly energetic beings. You know, what you think and how you feel puts out an electromagnetic frequency. You are going to call back the right people, circumstances, things, opportunities that are going to open up possibility in your life. And that's exactly what I did. I started working on my spirit, being honest with myself. What is it that I need? What does it look like? I just knew I needed something that would guarantee me a result, that had zero risk, whatsoever that didn't require a lot of capital, because I didn't have that. I didn't have real estate. I didn't have stocks. I didn't want to go back to school. There was nothing that I could think of that I knew at the time existed that would have given me a life that I could create and leverage income possibility on the traditional model. And that's when I found out about, the business that I'm running now, which is a network marketing company, and a real viable business that has been producing excellent results. And, the business may not be for everybody, and that's okay, but the product definitely is. It's outstanding. So we have people drinking coffee, drinking tea, doing what they always do, having the most profound results. I mean, last night I was giving a health talk to a gentleman out in Niagara Falls, because we're in Canada. And he was just talking about how, just switching over his coffee, he was sleeping better. And he had this skin condition that was just all, these terrible rashes everywhere that started subsiding. And one of the things we learn in natural medicine is bodies don't lie, they're very honest. So when someone who does what they're doing, and instead of doing a McDonald's McCafe, a Tim Hortons, a Starbucks, replaces it with a product that we know is producing health results, wow, that's when no matter what happened, someone that was going to do, gas station $2 liquid poison, God knows what they're drinking, for half the price, are having a beautiful, wonderfully tasting product that is changing health. Well, that's when life is just magical. So that's what happened. And we were just teaching people to share coffee. And next thing you know, things started turning around for me. And I really think it was the whole concept of being very clear with myself, with my heart, putting the intention out in the universe. Here's what I need. God, angels, universe, whatever your creed is, it doesn't matter. We're energetic beings. I mean, the science is there. It's proven science. We are energetic beings. What you think and how you feel produces a result in your life. So you're creating your reality every day, whether you know it or you don't. So you might as well live in creation than to live in survival. And I was in survival. Toxic relationship, not very happy, good parent moral modeling when you're stressed. I didn't think it was good for my son to be around that. I wanted him to be around a powerful mother who was happy and on purpose. And we get to do that now. We get to travel the world together and inspire others. And now I get to work from home and be there for him. So I think, ultimately purpose combined with having, a financial nest egg provides a good basis for inner peace. And only then can you now be the version of who you really are. I've had this conversation with many where they say, you know what, money's bad. It's actually not. It's a vehicle to expand who you already are. If you gave $1 million to Mother Teresa, what do you think she would have done with it? Right? And if you gave $1 million to, I don't know, Hitler, what do you think he would have done with that? Right. So that's the extreme. And it's really about the currency of your energy and the expansion you'll get from being able to help others. Because you can only do that when you're not surviving. So when I got out of survival and I entered the realms of creation, that's when I realized, okay, I can still be on purpose, but now I don't have to burn the candle at both ends anymore, because I'm done with that.
Yeah.
I know it's mouthful. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off there, Tiffany.
Amazing that you are so on point with all that, because I know that there's moms and dads and, caretakers out there that are burning at both ends. I mean, I used to be there.
Okay.
So I know exactly how that feels. And being able to provide somebody an outlet like that, and then, I mean, just the life afterwards, you can't really imagine, because it's like I get to go home and spend time with my daughter and not worry about, okay, what do I have to do next? It allows you that freedom.
Yes. And outsourcing what you don't enjoy doing. The new currency, like I said, is time. Mm-hmm. So as a mom, I want to be able to share the time that I have with my son to play games, to inspire, to teach him maybe about meditation, teach him about energy now. Like, why do we wait till we get older to start becoming wiser? What if we start teaching and role modeling these things to our little ones? So all of a sudden he sees moms on purpose, moms helping people. We help people. And our goal in life is to be happy and to live from our hearts and to have the best intentions. You will never be wrong on that level. So that's where the beauty about, being able to share with the world something that you're passionate about really does help. And then outsourcing what doesn't work for you. So, maybe I'm not a big fan of, deep cleaning my house. That's the truth. It doesn't excite me to wash floors and everything. So yeah, I'll have a cleaning lady come once a week, every 2 weeks, whatever needs to happen. so that in my mind, I know that, oh my gosh, this is going in this direction. There's a solution coming down the pipeline. Then I'll outsource that. I'm not a big fan of technology and all the details, Excel spreadsheets. I will outsource that to a part-time assistant that will help me. And therefore, I can still continue being expansive. So like I said, think about and get honest with yourself. Draw a list. What makes me happy? What doesn't? Energy in, energy out. That was one of the exercises I did for a lot of my clients for years. Was I said, yeah, here's your health program, but guess what? We have to work on your energy field. You got to feel good about what you're doing. I need you to walk around one day, pull out a paper and a pen, make a list in your own private time, write down what feels good and what energy is being deposited into your life and what energy is leaving. For example, I walked around, did the exercise myself. I realized it was energy out every time I saw my home being messy. And it was only until I documented it that I realized messy home means my energy gets depleted. Energy in meant coming in and seeing a stocked fridge full of organic food. Well, I knew I needed to have groceries in the fridge so that I would feel expansive. Coming in and having a partner that maybe wasn't giving me a hug and not providing emotional support was energy out for me. So when you document what's coming into you that fills you and what's coming into you that's, draining your energy, whether it's a toxic relationship, a friendship, a phone call, doing, accounting, preparing your taxes, when you document it and you realize, wow, this is not what I enjoy doing. Well, how can I start changing that? Either leave it, dump it, delegate it to someone else. But you got to make a decision. You're in charge of your life. You're the one that has to create the result that you're going to have and the experience you're going to have in it. So when you can sit back and say, okay, this is what needs to be shuffled around. Here's what's going to happen next. Now you're being moved into a path of where you can still feel better more frequently. Right. And then the next thing you know, new things, people, circumstances, friends start showing up, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
It is.
Yeah. Life is fun.
I mean, just meeting you, my world has completely, so thank you for that.
Birds of a feather. I find that people who vibrate the way I do, we start to collectively come together. And again, because we're energetic beings, and again, a lot of resources that are proving this now. The science is there. I cannot stress it. We cannot deny that we are bigger than our five senses. So if my radio station, my frequency is on 99.9, well, other people and listeners on 99.9 are going to start coming towards me. And that's just the reality of the different wavelengths that we operate on. So it's been a pleasure getting to know you, Tiffany. I know you yourself are enjoying the products and the coffee and the tea. And I know there's been a lot of people in your world that have had great health breakthroughs, and I think if you do anything with your heart, people will follow. And, I was drinking out of one of my favorite mugs. It says, what would you attempt to do if you knew you could not fail? Right. And I'm a big fan of quotes because we go into autopilot. Our brains are conditioned into, doing the same things every day in, day out. But quotes here and there kind of wake me up going, right, I'm not on autopilot. Let's think differently. Let's do differently. What could you do if you knew you couldn't fail? Really, let's get daring with ourselves. What would we do? What would that look like? What would it taste like? What would it feel like? Where would it be? And that's when you start to dream big.
And another quote that I like is, failing honestly is just quitting. That's true failure. When you stop completely, you've completely failed. I fail every day, but I keep going because I learn from that process. So that is not failure.
Never. That is wisdom. You nailed it. You absolutely nailed it. It's feedback for what needs to shift, change, whatever. But feelings are feedback. And like you said, the action will take you to an expansive place. And that's what it's about.
Yeah. And, I'm sure that you would also like to do this, but if anyone is on this call that would truly love to sample some of our wonderful coffee that we're talking about, I would love to gift that to you. So, if anybody on here is interested, just, PM, Dianne or myself, and we would truly love to send out a sample of that, coffee, tea, whatever it is, because we love to share the love, right?
It's been incredible. I always tell people, look, I give a gift.
Yep.
It's up to you if you love it, and feel free to share it with the world or not. Keep it for yourself. But I do know that people are sleeping better when they switch over, even if it's just for 3 days. I do know that pains and aches go away, migraine sufferers, people with inflammation, people with hormone imbalance, people with low immunity. There are so many documented scientific reviews that are, behind the superfood that we discuss on this product. And it's been one of my largest sharing vehicles of getting health into people's bodies, where people never forget to take it, because people forget to take their supplements and minerals. I know this for a fact. I did it for 20 years.
I know.
I have stacks of vitamins myself, which I forget because we're busy, but the average coffee, tea drinker never forgets to drink their beverage. What if we just put the supplement inside there, and all of a sudden you doing what you did for $1 a cup, we're having profound results. And that's where I say bodies don't lie. Give it a shot. It may or may not be for you, but I'll tell you right now, it tastes amazing. And about 60 to 80% of people that try it can't even go to their old brands because they have such incredible breakthroughs. So, very generous of you, Tiffany. If people want to try it, sounds like you're going to gift a sample out. People can try it. So give Tiffany a message or PM. And I say, no matter what you do, you want to surround yourself around people that are going in the direction you want to go into. Law of association is so real. You always want to be part of a circle that is moving in a direction where you want to go. Hands down, like that to me was huge. So I surrounded myself around people that had the results I wanted, who thought the way I wanted, that were even more ahead of me, because that pulls me in a higher direction where I start to learn more about the world and learn about the secrets of whatever industry I want to expand myself in, or whatever mindset or model. It doesn't matter. Surround yourself around people that make you feel good and that are like-minded and that are going in the right direction that you want to head into.
Yeah. Totally. And I'm just like doing this off of my personal experience, but everyone that is ahead of me is phenomenal and their energy is amazing. And, everybody is so willing to help everyone else. And that's what truly makes, this completely awesome, is that everyone wants to help everyone.
Yes. And that's the way we're meant to work on this earth. True nature is cooperative. Mother Nature is cooperative. Everything works synergistically. And this kind of community is only there to lift each other. And if we don't, we will all fall apart. So that's the wonderful thing that I found about the community that we thrive in, is that we're just really authentically there to lift each other. And oh, by the way, in the process, we're gaining knowledge, new friendships, health, abundance, time, freedom. It all just comes in the package. So I'm so happy that you have been connecting with us. I look forward to seeing you in Las Vegas next month. You are doing incredible work with sharing so much health information, knowledge with the world. I know you're doing health talks in the area that you live in. Super proud of you. That's how I started just giving health talks. And that just started to catapult and explode. And people just wanted more information and felt empowered to go out in the world and be the best versions of themselves.
Yeah. And it's about empowering people. You guys really do have the power to be the financial freedom, have the abundance, have the purpose, and have health.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the real deal. It's the real deal with no risk, quite the opposite. I always invite people, look, hang out with us for a week. I'm not going back to, the standard boxed life where people are just on autopilot. We can't live that way anymore. The world is changing. We're waking up. Businesses are waking up. Corporations are waking up. There's no coincidence that social media right now has become such a great vehicle for sharing, and we can do so much positive with it. Right. So, the whole world in terms of business and finances and community and this competition thing doesn't work anymore. It's just destructive, and it's not the way things are flowing. So be part of the new movement and get out there and just be you. Just be authentically you.
Yes.
Perfect, Tiffany.
So much, Dianne. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. So I'm very excited and happy that, you took time out of your busy schedule to help, speak to me and my followers. And, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure.
My pleasure too. I'll see you in a few weeks. Maybe we'll do a couple of Facebook Lives out there and celebrate you and all your success in the direction you're going into and the people you're leading along the way.
Awesome. That sounds fantastic.
Yeah. And for all you coffee tea drinkers, just message Tiffany. She'll hook you up. And FYI, you're going to fall in love, but oh well. That's part of the new world. Yeah. Guaranteed.